Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Breaming around the world from the Sugar Shack Studios in Texas, USA. It's the Ed Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Rodney Rodriguez, our Texas racing play-by-play guy who knows everything. We'll have the racing calendar in case Rodney doesn't know all the events and dates. That's followed by Mars, who gives us an in-depth review of the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek. Howdy. Along with Mr. Mars, we need more Jeff Seekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join this crazy hodgepodge of a mess-up morning that I have created for us. Well, it's not been just me. It's just kind of one of those hacks that we've run into every once in a while.
We've got so much on our plate, we need a bigger plate.
I mean, I did want to explain to everybody that all of us have things to do. Like, I get to run the commercials, and Jeff gets to do the video aspect of it. And Mars, we're still trying to figure out what
when
the heck
the videos are in order.
Well, there's that.
or when they're even in
the computer, because Mars does that at home during the week. So forgive us, for we know not what we do.
You don't believe what I can see on these videos that he's plugged in.
Yeah, well.
My eyes are burning sometimes.
Now, somebody that is plugged in is a worldwide, nationally known play-by-play guy. His name is Rodney Rodriguez, and he is our man about town. Rodney, good morning.
Morning, guys.
How are you?
Wasn't it better when it was just audio only?
I will say this. It was a whole lot easier, I can tell you that.
Whole lot easier.
A whole lot easier.
One little Wi-Fi blip the other day when AT&T went down, and then Facebook broke. People were lost, weren't they?
I'm telling you.
Yeah. What is wrong? What does this world come to?
Went back to the caveman days.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, what's next?
How have you been?
Been good. It's been kind of working up to the season. Houston fires off tonight, and for me, that's really when my season starts. There were supposed to have been a couple of other dates, but Mother Nature hasn't played nice with some of that.
Course.
Hadn't played nice this weekend with a lot of racetracks up north.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, the weather has been really crazy. I mean, it's been ugly, it's been damp, it's been wet. I haven't flown. I didn't fly at all this past week, at all.
None,
not at all, which is very unusual.
Yeah,
a lot of fog. We've had a lot of fog and all that stuff here that's kind of prevented, and wind.
Same thing for you, because you're just outside Austin, aren't you?
Yeah. And it hasn't necessarily been, that the weather's been bad. It's just been extremely windy or just cloudy, foggy in the morning. It's really weird. It's a crazy weather pattern.
Yeah, it is. And as soon as the weather gets done with what it's doing right now, we go into hot.
Yeah.
And it's going to be non-stop
Yeah,
hot for the rest of the year.
Yeah, no doubt.
So let's talk about racing. So tonight event is asphalt or dirt?
Asphalt. March, what's it called? Track Madness 2024 over at Houston Motorsports Park. Getting set to roll for the first of 11 nights.
Ooh, really?
At HMP Oval. Additional information on Facebook, HMP Oval Track. But really looking forward to what I think is going to be. I think this is going to be that consistent year that place has been looking for. Don, as well as anybody that, it was, we had some good years and then things would kind of fall off a little bit. But I think this is one that's really going to bring some consistency into pavement racing.
Car count going to be up enough for me to buy a ticket and go see?
Oh, man, you don't have to buy a ticket. Come on out. I'll get you in half price.
Half price. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. No, but I mean, people come to see all sorts of races, and they want to see the different cars, but they want to have, at least a half a dozen cars per race. You think that's going to happen this year?
I think that'll happen in the majority of the classes eventually. I'm not going to sit here and tell everybody go tonight and there'll be a dozen in each, because I can't make that guarantee. Yeah. That's like forecasting the weather.
How is the racing atmosphere amongst the car owners and drivers? I mean, are people still getting out there and wrenching on their cars during the week and then take it out to the racetrack on a Saturday night for tons of fun, or have people cut back like they're doing on so many things these days?
You see a lot of that on the dirt side. because it's still possible on the dirt side, because the dirt side has what asphalt racing lacks, which is more of true stock car classes. With IMCA stock cars and street stocks and factory stocks, and that's something that Owen Pittman there at HMP is really trying to do this year, because the dirt factory stock, as it's called, which is the steel-bodied, metric or leaf spring-based race car, they race those on dirt in a factory stock, but they're running on a 10-inch asphalt slick pull-off on a used asphalt tire. So what Owen has done, and the basis of these rules is stock. I mean, they don't run that way, but it is stock. No headers, none of that stuff. What Owen is doing is trying to pull, because Owen runs three different dirt tracks himself. So he's trying to pull that class over onto the asphalt. And I think if that happens, that's going to be a game changer right there.
What would prevent that from happening?
Those factory stocks on dirt, Don, they race for a lot of money. There are $5,000 to win shows, $10,000 to win shows. It's crazy.
Where do they get the money? Where does the promoter get the money for that kind of purse?
Well, that's where it takes a lot of folks just coming together and wanting to be a part of it, and that's where I'm hoping that racing can grow a little bit. And I know that money's hard to find, but it's so much where local short tracks are reliant on the short track community to your business, Don. Let's say the three of you guys had a business.
We do. It's called inwheeltime.com.
But no. Let's say you individually had a business, like whatever, 3 different businesses,
right? And
you go to the racetrack. We're going to go to, or the promoter's going to go to each one of you and be like, hey, you want to sponsor a whatever class, or do you want to add to the points fund, or do you want to make it the in-wheel time truck series, or whatever. And that's where I'd like to see the sport grow to where it's not reliant on just us. That's where we got to market. We got to market ourselves.
Are
better.
the gates similar between dirt and asphalt?
Man, dirt, they just blow it out of the water, man.
They do?
Those factory stocks that I'm talking about, when they have those big $5,000, $10,000 to win shows, they'll have 60 to 70 cars.
Wow!
So
all the families that come with the cars, they're all in the stands.
Sodas and hot dogs and popcorn. Yeah. So, Rodney, has the purse increased over the years? Has it increased from last year, as an example?
No. Well, it has. It fluctuates, the purse, because that's where, I may say, you know what, this week I'm gonna add an additional $1,000. Not that I would ever do this, because I don't have this kind of money. I'm gonna add $1,000 to the modified fund or something. That's where it fluctuates. But that's the thing, though, when you talk to a lot of people in short track racing, is to where the cost to do it, no matter the surface, whichever, the cost to do it has gotten a lot more expensive. But at a base purse on a regular Friday or Saturday night show, you're still racing for what you raced for 25 years ago.
So that fluctuates so far as the track sponsorship, the track ownership. What about the teams and the drivers? Obviously, they've got to increase their budgets for their cars and their tires and their engine parts and things. So do you see that as an increase this year as well?
Yeah, because that's definitely something. Those prices they never go stale on the stuff that you're talking about.
Well, you're a racer yourself. You know about this sort of thing. How about, I want to get into racing. So I know somebody that's got a street stock and they want to sell it and I want to buy it. How much is something like that? You pick the series. I don't know anything about that, but you pick the series. Pick a car for me. How much money do I have to spend?
I think if you went like on the asphalt side or dirt, you remember the eco stocks?
Yep.
Yeah, I like those. Those are cool.
4 bangers.
Yep.
So they have those on pavement and they have them on dirt. So that would be, if you're going to start that green. If you're going to start green, that's where you would start. And there, you should probably be looking at $2,500 to $3,000.
Oh, that's all. Okay, I thought I was waiting for you to say, well, that's going to cost you $10,000 because you got to press.
That's what
the car,
I was thinking. Yeah,
get roll bars and
fire suits,
all that stuff.
Well, and that's where like these factory stocks that I'm talking about, and this is where, I'd love to send you guys the rules and then send you a video. You read the rules and you watch them and then be like, how the hell? But anyway, that's just a whole different discussion. But what you get into with the stock classes, and this is what kills stock car, street stock racing on pavement, in my opinion, is that you get these cars where people start purpose building these things, and that's where you buy a bare frame chassis. When people want to sell you a bare frame chassis, a roller for $15,000.
No, that defeats the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, go race a truck or something else. But one of those is $25,000 to $30,000, a bare roller, and that's where it's just like, the sport costs so much money, and it's the downfall of it all the time.
Right. All I'm thinking of is buy yourself used, maybe a 10-year-old four-banger. Probably going to be some four-door sedan or something, and get out there and run it. But you got to prep the car. So you got first of all you got to buy the car, then you got to prep the car. I guess that there are guys around town that'll prep the car for you, put in a roll bar and take the headlights out and that sort of thing.
And then the bad part about that, Don, not to interrupt you right there, but I'll forget if I don't tell you this.
Yeah, tell me.
Is that you get in a class like that, and let's say, because that class is healthy or has been healthy.
Right.
Let's say there's 12, like your number, 12. Let's say there's 12 of them, but there's like 2 or 3 that are just miles better than everybody else. It's like, that's where, like with NASCAR with this car where they're trying to level the field and all that.
Yeah.
That's what an entry-level class needs to be, because if I'm sitting in the stands and I'm thinking about exactly what you're talking about right there, but I go week after week and it's 2 dudes that are winning all the time and they're just lapping the field. It's like, why do I want to subject myself to that?
Yeah. I would read the rules first and then go get the car to find out what my restrictions are by the book, and then I would go get the car.
I don't know if I do that. I think what I'd do is I'd buy a winning car, and that'd be the end of the story. Don Armstrong now owns the car that's lapping the field. Roddy used to own it. Now I bought it.
The other thing to do is kind of a combination of what you guys are talking about, but kind of like right there in the middle. Read the rules, take the rules to somebody who knows how to build a car, and let them find the gray area in the rules.
That's what I'm talking about.
Then build your car.
Rubbins Racing.
That's what happens.
Yeah. So let's talk about the tracks themselves. Houston Motorsports Park is one. That's here locally. What other tracks are you calling?
For me this year, it'll be obviously Houston. Then I'll do South Texas Race Ranch over in Corpus Christi. That's a great dirt track there.
And how long is that track?
That is a quarter mile dirt track.
Oh
there.
My God, it's a little bowl.
Yeah. It's a little bitty, but it's wide. And then occasionally maybe do some stuff out in Edna at Texana Raceway Park, and that is a great 0.4 of a mile racetrack, and that is a beauty.
Is that dirt?
Yeah, it's dirt. They've gone in and new bathrooms, new press boxes, new concession stands. The place is great. It's out in the middle of nowhere in Edna.
Where is Edna?
Edna is probably about 49 miles this side of Victoria.
Yeah. Okay. In other words, we could call it Aunt Edna.
Yeah. I every time I go to Edna is actually Flag City, USA. Just a little tidbit right there for you.
And it's close enough to Houston; they can get the Houston participants as well.
That's it.
I mean, the fans.
Yeah. So it's like an hour away.
Yeah. A little,
for you guys it would be.
Yeah. Right.
Nothing's close for me. Hell, they're all far. And then you've got Cotton Bowl Speedway in Page, which is also dirt. Mm-hmm. That's a big 3/8 mile. That's the newest racetrack that I know of. In the
Cotton
state.
Bowl Speedway, isn't that up by Dallas?
No, that's in Page.
Page.
That's in Page.
I don't know where's Page.
Page is about halfway between you and me, so it's a little closer to me, I would say. But it's pretty.
That'd be between Houston and Austin.
Let's just turn the page on that one.
Let's turn the page. Funny. Yeah. So the only asphalt is Houston Motorsports Park.
Yeah, Houston. If you want asphalt, the other asphalt stuff that I'll do will be like next week. I'm going back to the Rattler 250 in Opp, Alabama. Then you'll have of course Five Flags Speedway, in Pensacola, Cordele Speedway in Georgia. Mobile. So it's like,
is Mobile still up and running?
Mobile is off and rolling once again, and they've gone in and they seem to have a pretty good program put together based off of what Gina put together there. I mean, Gina brought that place back to life, and I want people to remember that. It's like folks are just going on and on about how great Mobile is. Yeah, well, if it wasn't for Gina, it would still be in mothballs.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So basically, Houston's about the only asphalt track.
Well, besides Mobile.
Well, I mean, in Texas.
Yeah, in Texas. Yeah, Houston is it.
Are there
Houston
other
is it.
tracks that
All dirt.
everybody else is dirt?
Everybody else is dirt. You've got up north in the DFW area, you've got so many dirt tracks up there. And right in between, I always say the equator is Waco, Heart of Texas Speedway. 58 years. 58 years they started their racing season last week again.
Wow.
So you got that, and then as far down south as Corpus, and everything in between.
All right, well, let's talk about my favorite dirt track series, and that would be World of Outlaws. I'm sorry, I don't know what you think of it, but I sure like the excitement of that.
Yeah, well, they were supposed to be racing in Texas last night at Kennedale Speedway Park up north. Rained out both nights. They were going to do last night and tonight, so that's been rained out. They are actually going to be at Cotton Bowl Speedway that I was talking about. I think that's March 28th and 29th. I may be wrong with that. Yeah, the Page one. Yeah. Now I highly recommend going. You guys should cover that show because that track is so big, guys. That place, if it was paved, holy moly, we'd have a great
and what's the name of the speedway?
Cotton Bowl Speedway.
Cotton Bowl
In Page, Texas.
Yeah, check them out. That's going to be it's a Friday and Saturday night twin bill. So I think it's 2 nights of World of Outlaws that you're going to have there, and that's right at the end of the month.
Man, I'll
right
tell you
up your alley, buddy.
Yeah,
highly recommend.
Yeah, I know. It's a throwback for me, and I love winged sprint cars, and they're scary fast, and they have some crazy wrecks. They like to roll over
Flippers.
all the time.
So have you seen now that they're kind of doing the same thing asphalt's done? Now you've got the High Limits Sprint Car Series, which is started by Brad Sweet and Casey Kane and all them. It's sort of a rival to that. So now within a couple of years, they're going to be trying to. It kind of is already something where guys are having to choose which series they're going to race in. But that's more of a midweek series, I guess. But still, 410 sprint cars with wings.
It's really difficult for me to go in the middle of the week somewhere.
Well, see, these drivers normally they're big profession and their big money's on the weekends. They do the weekdays just to stay tuned and keep their skills sharp. Training. Is what it is, and they can afford to do it.
It's like those Tuesday night college baseball games.
Yeah.
That's when you get your hard work done, middle of the week.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, Rodney, what do you think about Honda getting into NASCAR?
Hey, we need another OEM. I just assumed that it was always hoped that it was always going to be Dodge. But
the problem is the problem with that is the engines they can't keep up. They can't rev that high. Those engines, the configuration of the engine itself is not conducive to the high RPMs that they turn in the Chevys and the Fords.
Well, now with the new car being essentially a spec car to where you single source parts for everything. I mean, you can't. I mean, the engine. I'm not going to say it's a crate engine, but it's pretty much
basically a crate engine. Yeah,
basically a crate engine. I think it's time for it to happen, and I think Honda's a great addition in my opinion. A lot of folks still are just irritated and frustrated when you mention the word Toyota, and it's like if you go back and you look at the advances that have happened in racing development and stock car racing development on the NASCAR side, it's because of Toyota. Toyota racing development has done so much as to where the bow tie and the blue oval, they have as well.
Yeah, they push them.
They've kind of they've been piggybacking off of what
they push
Toyota
them to be better.
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, my friend, it's great talking to you as always.
Hey, you as well, guys.
And best of luck tonight. Are you driving in today? Because I see that you're up in Austin right now.
Yeah, I was supposed to be there last night, but I had some stuff pop up. So as soon as I'm done here with you, I got to cut a couple of audio spots, and I'm on the road, eastbound and down, in the words of Jerry Reed.
There you go.
Well, we love you. It's great talking to you. Let's talk about mid-season and see what's happening.
That's right. Come see us, guys.
You bet.
Thank you, man.
You betcha.
Bye. Rodney Rodriguez, announcer extraordinaire,
Fine,
Texas
fine,
Racing.
fine.
Yep. Hey, the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. Podcasts available from your favorite podcast provider. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. Stay with us.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In-Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Mecum Auctions, the world's largest collector car auction company, returns to Houston, Texas, April 4th through the 6th at NRG Center, featuring 1,000 muscle cars, Corvettes, trucks, customs, and more. Broadcast on Motor Trend TV and streaming live on Max. From avid collectors to those new to the Mecum experience, we welcome everyone. Register to bid now at Mecum.com.
Thank you, and you are on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
All right.
Time now for the Racing Calendar, sponsored by Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge.
And we just heard from Rodney. Rodney's got a lot of stuff going for your local racers and things. But today, and starting now, we've got NHRA. It's going to be on Fox. Starting today is the Pep Boys NHRA Top Fuel All-Star Call-Out in Gainesville. And then tomorrow is the NHRA Gator Nationals. So
is that going to be on Fox?
It's also going to be on Fox. But these times, like the first one today is on at 7 p.m., so it's a rebroadcast. It's not going to be live. And then tomorrow, again, it's going to be 9 o'clock. It's on FS1, actually, but at Fox Sports Television. So it's on those channels.
FS1?
FS1.
So I can't see it on broadcast?
No. You got to get FS1 if you're
I refuse to do it.
I got you. NASCAR is actually at Phoenix Raceway. It starts at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Of course, there was truck races and the Xfinities going on. Tickets still available, Mike. So if you need to go, take your mom out there. Formula One, what a debacle. Debacle is an understatement. They're in Saudi Arabia. I watched some of the qualifyings.
Pardon me just a moment.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever taken your mother to a NASCAR race? You ever taken your mom to a race?
No.
No?
No.
Would she know what to do? I mean, she'd cheer somebody on.
Let me just say, in my younger days, she knew to call the police department to find out where I was when I used to do a little
We're
street
still
racing.
doing that. Jeff and I are.
You're running late this morning. We already had a APB out on you.
Yeah, anyway, go ahead.
But
Jeff.
anyway, Saudi Arabia, the Formula One, what a debacle. They should have let Andretti in because they keep bumping into themselves and ruining the sport is what it is, my opinion. And then, of course, Indy coming up tomorrow, Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. I love it. Open wheel on NBC. Don't know a time just yet, but it will be there. And
you know what NBC
stuff.
stands for, don't you? Nobody cares.
Okay. All right.
That's what that is.
Good deal.
Okay. Time now for this hour's car review. Monsieur Mars has the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek.
Go ahead, spit it out. It's 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Wilderness, which is all-wheel drive because that's just standard on the Subarus. This is the third generation of this vehicle, and it's available in 5 different trim levels. You can get the Limited, you can get the Base, the Premium, the Sport, then the Limited, and the new for 2024, the Wilderness Edition. Now, this is a small SUV, but like we were talking with Alex at Consumer Reports earlier, it doesn't really feel like a small SUV.
It makes their top 10 list.
Mm-hmm. It does. And in fact, on the Monroney we got, it says it's Consumer Reports recommended. So apparently they like it a lot.
I like it too.
So when you look at the outside of it, on the exterior, you're going to find LED lighting all the way around with the responsive headlights that are going to be fully follow your steering and stuff, which I really like those kind of things. It does have the ladder type roof rails, which I was surprised to find out that it will support 700 pounds up there on the roof of that thing. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen anybody tout that kind of level. So you're going to find the heated side mirrors, got a heated windshield on it. We had the optional moon roof and the optional 17-inch black finished alloy wheels, which looked really good with the Alpine green paint option that we had.
Yeah.
It was a nice looking combination.
It was.
And got a lot of comments on this vehicle. So you move into the interior, we had the StarTex trimmed upholstery, which is a synthetic leather, and the Starlink communication connected services that go along with that on the 11.6-inch multimedia screen. That's where you're going to find your nav, all your convenience controls. And we also had a wireless phone charger, had front and rear USB so that everybody in the vehicle could get plugged in and stay connected.
I like the dash
through
pod.
the Starlink.
Yeah,
Yes.
I like that.
We also had the optional cargo cover in the back that folds out, which I like those because things you got back there keeps them out of sight, out of mind if somebody that happens to look in there and decide they like it enough to want to borrow it from you. Mm-hmm. And we had the optional Hardin Karman audio system, which I highly recommend in this vehicle because there is a little bit of, it is an off-road type vehicle. It's very off-roady wilderness set. So it's got a little bit of road noise on it, but you can blast that smooth right on out of there and not have to worry about it. We also had the 2.5-liter Subaru Boxer engine. Now, this is the larger engine that we talked about briefly when we were talking with Alex. 182 horsepower, 178 pound-feet of torque. Not a race car by any means, but it's got plenty of power to do what you want to do. It's backed by a CVT, but it does have an optional 8-speed manual mode that you can use with the paddle shifters. So if you're out really into trying to do a little rough off-roading and you want to pull that down and try to do a little manual controls with the transmission, you can do that.
You can do some jumps with that.
Getting some donkey
you
on.
can do that. Yeah.
Get your donkey on.
And I also was surprised to find out about this vehicle because of its size that it's capable of towing up to 3,500 pounds.
Wow.
Which is almost the vehicle weight.
And 700 and something on the roof and then 3,500.
I mean, you got this thing loaded down then. Now, the EPA says the city, you should be looking for about 25. Out on the highway, you should be looking for 29 miles per gallon. So your combined runs out to 27. Now, I drove this vehicle 383.3 miles, got 25.6, and I was very happy with that because I really like the drivability of this vehicle. You get in it, like we were talking earlier, you get in it, you feel good, the doors swing wide, so it's easy to get in, you feel comfortable, you feel confident in your driving position.
I feel good in anything.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and the seats are elevated a little bit. It's got a high roof line, so it feels roomier than what it actually is. And by the same token, that also gives you a lot of viewing space through the glass from the driver's perspective. So you got great driver views. Now, the base model on this vehicle is $26,540, which surprised me again about the pricing on this. The base trim that we were driving is $31,995, and MSRP is $35,955, including a $12.95 destination fee. If you're looking for something that's also in that category, you might look over at the Ford Bronco Sport, $31,230 for the base. Jeep Compass is another small SUV, $25,900, and the Mazda CX-30 comes in at $24,995 in that small, highly competitive small SUV category.
Thank you, sir. If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook. Back in a flash,
The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.